Welcome to Book Blurbs. I am talking today about The Devil by Ashley Jade. All right, so Ashley starts off this book by giving us a little Shakespeare quote. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. If you know, you know, but it's The Tempest if you didn't. William Shakespeare. Okay, the second clue she gives you is the Devil Tarot card. Now, just to keep it simple, she gives you the rundown of all the different ways you can interpret the card. However, I'm going to give you just a quick blurb. Again, we're doing blurbs over here, so I'll give you a quick blurb about the card. The Devil card in tarot represents being seduced by physical and material pleasures. Okay, so things of the world, things of the body. It also, in love, has to do with bisexuality, slavery, so sex slavery, bondage, and the darkest form is obsession. Now, if this isn't your thing, it's something to prepare you to read the story so you understand how this is going to go. She also mentions that the two people at the bottom of the card look like they're shackled, but if you take a closer look, you notice that actually they're not. They are free to go. However, they do stay and indulge themselves in the devil's pleasure. I have to agree with her last little clue, which is there are no heroes in this story, only devils. I could not agree more. In the prologue, we have a narrator. We're not sure who it is at this point, but we have a narrator that's discussing obsession and what it means to be obsessed, how it kind of dives into you and feeds on you. I consider there to be three main characters in this story, three main roles in the story. Eden is one of the three. Eden is a 17, 18-year-old girl, gorgeous. She's supposed to be absolutely mind-blowingly gorgeous, but she has a Hamersha. She is a shut-in. So she does not go out in public. She does not have friends that she hangs out with. She is definitely the taboo teenager. And for someone who's about to be 18 and go on to university, she has a lot of hurdles that she's battling herself. She lives with her stepfather, who is Kane, our second main character, and Kane is on his political run. Now, a lot of what you see, the back and forth in the first book, because this is one of two, in the first book is that Eden and Kane kind of go back and forth. So Eden is absolutely head over heels for Kane, just no doubt. Kane is a younger guy. He married her mother kind of like as a power move. There was really no love lost when her mother passed away. However, Eden is so taken by him, she would do anything for him, and she's just trying to kind of make her dreams come true and make life with Kane a real permanent thing. Now, Kane, on the other hand, knows that this girl is 17, 18 years old, and he is trying not to be tempted by her good looks and her charm because she's throwing it at him. And he's trying to dodge it by all means so that he can keep the straight path on this political career. Now, something to note about Kane. He has always had the ambition to be a political person. That was always his dream from his high school days up until the present, which is where we hit the story. Okay. Now, there is that lingering third character, but we'll get to him in a minute. Eden thinks that she's on this app and she's been communicating with Kane under an alias. So the only rule on this random app that she got was that she could not reveal herself and the person that she's speaking to cannot reveal themselves. No photos, no nothing. So just talking to one another. So she thinks that she is having this great conversation with Kane. She's sending, little peekaboo photos. And she feels like they're becoming closer, that this might be a real thing. She just has to turn 18. And she's so close to turning 18. She's only a couple days away. And then she feels like everything will be all right and they'll be able to be happily ever after together. Now, there's this ball coming up in Black Hollows, which is our setting. So in Black Hollows, they have a masquerade ball. So Kane is getting ready for that. It's important that he's there, and this is where he's going to announce his engagement to another woman. Now, unbeknownst to Eden, all of this has been being put in place by Kane in order to take the right step, so to speak, in his political career. So to secure that mayor position, he feels that a marriage and a marriage to this particular woman will be the power play he needs to secure more votes. You can see where the focus is. Eden's focus is Cain. Cain's focus is his political career. He's trying not to be tempted. So again, remember what I said about the devil card in the beginning. Okay, he's trying not to be tempted. He's trying to stay on the straight and narrow. Then enters our third, and I feel like my favorite, Damien. Now, Damien is my favorite because I love a good villain. And he comes in hot out the gate, and you already know he's playing no games with anybody. His first encounter is with a reporter who he hired to dig up dirt on Cain and his life and what's happening. And that's our first glimpse into Damien. Eden is a person that is a hermit. She does not go out. Before she knows it, she is committing to going to this masquerade ball. So this is a huge deal for her. She has anxiety wrapped around it, and she does not want to do it. But she receives a present on her birthday, which is a dress, some shoes, and a mask, of course, for her masquerade ball. Now, she feels like she needs to hype herself up to do this. Cain messages her through the app and lets her know her ride is there, and she's going to meet him and make this thing reality. As all this is happening, Damien's behind the scenes, being the perfect villain that he is. One thing Ashley Jade does well, it's a flashback and a steamy scene. So let's start with that steamy scene. Eden shows up at the masquerade ball. She is frantically messaging Cain through this app, and then she gets a response. And the response is that she has to meet him in this specific area, and there are specific rules. Yes, rules. Great job, Ashley, by the way. Great job. We get a great flashback, and this flashback is telling us a lot more about Cain. So we know a couple things about Cain. He's kind of the odd one out. He has a twin brother and his father that he lives with. The twin brother has more accolades than him. He is more well respected than Cain, and his father has that same view and perspective on Cain. So Cain is constantly trying to live up and measure up to gain their approval. So you get kind of all the dirt with Cain and his background, and then you get an eye-opener into his development and relationship with Damien, okay? Now, Damien I love as a villain because, quite frankly, he does not care. He does not care about what anyone thinks. He has zero barriers. He's not trying to put on any kind of facade. He's just him. He does and says what he wants, and whether you like it is a take it or leave it. He also has the wealth and the power behind him, so people don't really give him much push one way or another. The best thing about this is that Damien is there. He's behind the scenes. And he does interact with Eden, only she doesn't know who exactly he is at the moment. Cain and Damien have created a bond, and they're bonding through secrets. Secrets Cain cannot have out in the open. All right. Now, Damien, again, is unashamed, so they're not secrets for him, but because he is really into Cain, he does not want to, damage that. Our book ends on such a cliffhanger. You're not sure what's going to happen with Damien. Cain has taken a complete 180 as a character, and Eden is up for grabs. Like, she's out there being dangled as bait. So that brings us to book 2, which is The Devil's Advocate. But I hope you read Ashley Jade's The Devil and The Devil's Advocate. Tell me what you think about the book. Leave your comments and thoughts below because this one is a doozy. I literally had to take a nap after reading it because there's so much angst, so many twists and turns, so much anger, so much frustration tied up in this whole storyline. Think about that devil card. I hope you enjoyed this blurb, and I'll see you next time.